Comfort Havoc number 2. So, www.theeagle.com came across my pick, across my phone. The Eagle posted an article that says why the first black superhero was not the one you think. Alright, so the article is by Blair Davis of the Washington Post, and he talks about the sequel of Roger Coogler's Coogler Black Panther sequel. So it's a really good article. Y'all should look it up. And the title again is Why the First Black Superhero Was Not the One You Think. Alright, so he goes into a lot of stuff, and this article is exceptionally long, so I'm not going to do it. However, he does bring up Marvel. He doesn't really bring up much of DC. And I got to set the record straight because he did go into the 40s, but black superhero go further back than that. He left off the one black superhero that most of you have never heard of. His name is Lothar. Let me spell that out for y'all. Lothar. Lothar. Now, if you are old enough to be a Generation Xer like myself, then you would know about the Defenders of the Earth cartoon where Lothar and Mandrake the Magician, because in the 30s, Lothar and Mandrake the Magician, which is my comment where I will go and bring that up, because I read the article like 2 times and I didn't see it. I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy, so here's what I responded to his thing. You know, the one problem, buddy, you missed 1934's Lothar, who ran with Mandrake the Magician in June 11, 1934. I read the article twice, but no real mention of him. Otherwise, great job. Which, it was a great job, you know. But it did not mention Lothar. It did mention Afro Comics or All Negro Comics or something like that. So it did get some, All Negro Comics and Lion Man. It did mention that. But if Lothar is supposed to be Lion Man, he was Lothar first. But I've never heard of Lion Man. But I know that Lothar came out the date that I just gave y'all, which was June 11, 1934. Now, he said first black superhero. He wasn't specific. Now, if he was talking about comics, Lothar was in a comic strip, but never a comic book until Marvel bought the rights to Defenders of the Earth and made them part of the Marvel Universe, which I don't know if they're still part of the Marvel Universe or not. But for the Defenders of the Earth, you have Flash Gordon, you have Phantom, you have Lothar, and you have Mandrake, and each of them have kids. Lothar's kid was named LJ, which was Lothar Jr. Flash Gordon's kid was named Rick. Phantom's kid was named Jetta, and she was the only girl on the whole damn team, so you know she probably felt uncomfortable at all times. But she was also a tomboy, so she could beat the hell out of the boys. And then you had Kirshen, who was Mandrake's adopted child. And he had that little mushy thingy. So, you know, when you go into black comics and black superheroes, it is very important that y'all don't leave off Lothar. Because Lothar was in 1939, and that was before comic books really made their big boom. There was comic strips, but Lothar was the first black superhero. Now, I've been trying to search all over Google for someone other than Lothar, and I haven't found anybody further than 34, which is Lothar. There are some other people, but they're not Lothar. And like I said, all Negro comics. Make sure I read that right. Just because I don't like using the word Negro. Yeah, all Negro comics. One second. Damn it. Okay, y'all probably can't read that. But it's right there. In backwards for y'all. All Negro comics. You know, they had some comics. And it doesn't really mention much of anything about DC first black comic characters and stuff like that. And DC had some first black comics as well. But I wanted you guys to understand that, you know, for the most part, that there was no one before Lothar. And Lothar started off initially as a sidekick. I don't know what the hell's going on with this phone. Something went totally wrong here. Anyway, so did you know, Lothar was the first black superhero. Even though he started off as a sidekick, he still was first black superhero. By the time 87, 88 came along, when Defenders of the Earth came, they upgraded Lothar, but before Lothar got upgraded, he was also a prince. He was like the first black prince superhero. But he gave up the right to be the king to travel with Mandrake. You guys can go Google that, because that's how I found that, because I didn't know Lothar was just supposed to be the king. I just thought he was a black guy. I didn't know he was like not even American. He was from Africa. So therefore, the first black superhero is African, and he spoke African until the Defenders of the Earth thing. So, but he was in 1939. Thank you guys for watching.